Hello and welcome. So my name is Esther. I'm an artist, a healer. I travel a lot. I essentially do anything that is for the highest good of humanity or the earth in many, many forms. Sometimes I teach, sometimes I guide, sometimes I have my healing practice where I help people with energy healing and different modalities of the highest good. So I'm kind of essentially all over, either in three realms: nature, spirituality, or the arts. And this is just another form in how I bring clarity for light workers, or those of you who are also in realms of the highest good of humanity and the earth. So today we're just going to be asking clarity on where you're headed next. Wow, these are flipping over like crazy. And what to expect and best advice, what you most need to know right now. I'll take these ones at the end as clarifiers, I guess, because they flipped over but they didn't pop right out. And just any guidance or help. So most likely you have done a lot of healing work and you're now more in a transitionary period, ready to embark on this next chapter of either your career, your entrepreneurship, or where your destiny is kind of leading you. Oh my gosh. Wow. Starseed. This is incredible. Major arcana all over the place. Holy smokes. So absolutely the wheel is turning in your favor. First and foremost, the wheel popped out, and this was actually what I saw first, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So you're definitely on track. You've done the healing work. Most likely you may still be healing a little bit. However, Spirit is really calling you to say, this is the time. Now it's time to reemerge. So you may have been more in a hermit energy, going within yourself, shedding the old, possibly getting rid of different things and different energies, because the wheel is all about the inner center sun, right? It's your inner identity. And to come to our inner identity requires the inner work. It requires the inner honesty. It requires to know thyself, right? Not an easy feat. How easy is it for us to just kind of try to be something that we're not, or play small, or to fit in, or to appease others? And that is so ingrained in our society, but that is actually the time we're pulling out of now more than ever, is really stepping into your authenticity. Your uniqueness is to be embraced, and your gifts are needed now more than ever. So Starseed, especially if you found this reading, knowing that I am so small and highly unlikely that you would find this, if this is already beginning to resonate with you, then this reading is most likely for you, especially if you found it. So this is where your destiny is really now becoming realized. Everything is turning in your favor. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is about good karma. This is about your dharma. This is about your destiny and good luck. This is about having decisive moments and really, really trusting the inner call, knowing your worth and your value. The Wheel of Fortune is connected to the identity of self, the center sun, the solar plexus. That's will, ego, identity, but it's in balance of knowing where you're meant to go, trusting the cycles of life, trusting fate, trusting your fortune. And this is where you cannot step into the same river twice. You are now emerging into your true self and shedding what was of the old self. And this may be people, places, spaces. Perhaps you're changing a career. Perhaps you're leaving an old relationship. Perhaps you're leaving an old town or city or even country, possibly. And you're really stepping into the inner knowing and trusting your gifts and what you're being called to give forward for humanity or for new inventiveness. This is a time where the earth needs you. This is a time where the earth needs healers and light workers and change makers and new inspirations and new ways of both healing the earth, the soil, the plants, connecting with the natural world, but also connecting with humanity, coming back into harmony of unity and really honoring what is of the highest good that people need more than ever. and they do need healers. We're in a time of transition where things have been quite tumultuous because the earth herself is healing. And of course, we are in a very destined and turning point time. So clarifying the Wheel of Fortune for you, Lightworker Starseed. Wow. Yeah, so this is what you're leaving behind. This is incredible. First and foremost, Five of Swords. You're leaving behind the monkey mind, essentially. Being so caught up in your mind, knowing like where there's a little bit of resistance, your mind and your heart battling it out. And now you're trusting your heart. Now you're trusting the winds of change. This is where you're getting out of that overthinking, overanalyzing. Can I do it? Am I valuable enough? Am I worthy enough? And Spirit is saying, of course you're worthy enough. You always have been. And you were always meant for greatness. You were always meant for this purpose. And ultimately, every being is meant to thrive. Every being is meant to enjoy their life and have that contrasting experience. Some come here for all kinds of reasons. But if you came to this reading, then most likely you are more of an entrepreneurial in the forward movement of humanity. And with this Wheel of Change, you've had to overcome a lot of heartbreak, having to say goodbye to a lot of the old cycles, the old paradigms within your own being, perhaps old relationships, perhaps old ways of being, old karmic cycles. This is where you're now stepping into spoiled of choices, discerning and deciding, where is it that I go next? With this Ouroboros and the snake, this is very transformative energy. It's shedding the old skin. What are you outpouring now? What is the rivers of change that are coming in? With the vastness of the sunlight, the sand, and the ocean behind, you may be venturing off into places that are a little bit more bright and sunny. Perhaps they're more by the beach. Perhaps you're a healer, or you're within those healing modalities, or you're a guide or a light worker. And you're really stepping into utilizing your voice for change and voice for the betterment of humanity. And you're doing it privately. You're doing it more so with the 10 of Wands here, right? This is the unknown. But you've got that sturdy ox, that steadfast guardian, that guide right next to you by your side. You're trusting in this path where you're going, even if it's at night, even if you're going at it slightly blind, even if it's just off of faith and trusting that intuitive element, knowing, I know who I am. I know what I came here to bring. And although I may be starting with very little and having to leave everything I've ever known behind me, traveling with just enough that I need, you are on the right path. And you're headed towards your truest, highest timeline. And there's wealth and abundance ahead of you because you also have the King of Cups that came out right next to it. That is emotional intelligence. That is trusting your intuition. The King of Cups is really connected to the third eye of the chakras. And that is the higher view. That's the higher sight. That is the all-seeing eye that sees far surpassing the physical eyes. That is true sight beyond delusion and illusion. It's a Piscean card, so it goes deeper into the depths of the unseen and the unknown, knowing that you are a light. You are here to create change. You are here to bring the wave of the new consciousness forth, streaming from your heart, streaming from that higher knowing. Because this is where you have done the work. You are now ready. So Spirit is calling you to come out of this hermit energy, coming out of the healing phase. You've done the healing work. And that was very clear, showing this Wheel of Fortune is now turning in your favor. You've had to let go and shed and probably free up a lot of energy. Perhaps you got rid of even your belongings, perhaps your home. Perhaps you gifted away things. Perhaps you just freed up the energy in your mind. But regardless of how it was done, you've now freed up the energy and you're now being called to utilize the wealth of knowledge that you hold, your caring and your healing and your good advice. Because everything that you've gone through can now be a guiding force for those who need it, that are going to be going through this very soon. You have awakened and you're stepping up to that inner call. The King of Cups is a lot about someone who understands unconscious motivations. They are someone who is very knowledgeable and full of wisdom. This is a masculine energy. It is steadfast, it is discerning, and it is a man in touch with his emotional life. This is maturity and emotional stability. This is really knowing how to move through obstacles and challenges with grace, with the heart-centered consciousness and the higher view. You have attained that because you have remained steadfast in all that you had to overcome, all that you had to heal. You retained that higher view and that heart-centered place within yourself. Any advice on emotional intelligence, Spirit, please? Thank you. Yeah, this is quite special, because this is a lot of work that has done to obtain this higher view, this higher sight, and this calm. You know, you're now very calm and certain in who you are. Yeah, and there's no clarifiers for that. So that's major arcana. This is Spirit saying, nope, this is exactly it. You have obtained the King of Cups. Now you need to move forth. No more staying in hermit phase. Utilize your wisdom, share it, utilize your gifts, utilize your voice. You are already good enough. You've done the work. The world needs you. Standing up to that call and really knowing that Wheel of Fortune, taking that chance on yourself. Move forward. Believe in where you're going, because you are on the right path. Your inner call knows, your true sight knows, your intuitive capacities through your third eye know. Because next to that, you have another major arcana of the Emperor, which is amazing, because this is another masculine divine energy, but it's grounded. So now you've got the higher view, but you also have the earthly view. This is literally bringing the spiritual into the physical. This is bringing all your higher wisdom, your soul and your destiny, the spiritual self of your divinity coming into form. With the Emperor, it is, I am my own authority. I have the will and the power to create my life structure. Exactly. The Emperor does not search out. The Emperor is stable. The Emperor is protection, authority, ambition, and control. This is about fearlessness and decisive focus, discipline, logic, and practicality. The Emperor is about being that really stable, dependable father figure in many ways. But this is just an energy, right? It's not whether you're male or female. This is just the energy that you've obtained. This is about being dependable. This is about being reliable. You are in control and steadfast, upright, discerning in all that you know, all that you see. Very beautiful, controlled energy. Anything further on that, Spirit, please? Thank you. Yeah, no, you're coming into your grounding. Certainly coming into your grounding, and this may be all you need to know. Oh, yeah, exactly. Because you went inward. You've done the inner work, the hermit. That's where you were. That inner light, even in the darkness. Because you've done the inner work, your new capacities have now become embodied, and they're now needed. This is shining your light in the thickest of darkness. This is being a guiding force for others. This is being a stable force for others. This is being the strength in this time of change. Remaining the light, remaining grounded. Your lantern is there. You know the way. You hold that light. And even the vastest thickest of darkness can never overcome light. You can have one candle in the vastest of darkness, and regardless of how vast that darkness is, it can never overpower the light. You are now the light, embodied. Right after that, you have the Hierophant. This is, I choose which traditions I embrace and how I do it. Incredible. The Hierophant is another major arcana. And this is about traditional values, right? Religious beliefs, but this is spiritual beliefs. This is about sharing your knowledge. This is about retaining that and co-creating with spirit, collaborating with others, should you choose it. This is education and knowledge. This is about your groups and socializing. This is about sharing the wisdom you've obtained, because this is a hierarchy, right? This is a guidance. So you may be stepping in to more of being a teacher and a guide, a force of good for humanity, and a wave of change for the highest good of others, to inspire others, to show others the way, to guide others into the light, guiding others to free them out of their own stuck mentalities, or where they have unknowingly kept themselves small or chained or boxed or limited, whether in the mind or physically, emotionally. This is about you utilizing your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is now open. It's free. You are able to express your higher truth. You're able to bring spirit and spiritual knowledge through you naturally in a higher knowing. This is natural spiritual attainment. Spirit, any more guidance on that? Thank you. Wow, 8 of Cups, 7 of Wands. Exactly. You've been doing the work. So with the 8 of Cups, you've lit the fire. You're now walking away. New horizons, new opportunities. Your highest timeline awaits you, and it's right there. You're walking into it. You're walking towards the light, leaving behind what was. But you've built this fire. You've burned this fire, and you're letting it go. You're letting go of what was, and you're stepping into the new. You're trusting in the unseen, because your destiny is calling you, and you have taken upon that call. You've done the inner work. 7 of Wands. Once more, the illumination of the solar plexus, right? Wheel of Fortune in your favor. That is the I am. That is to know thyself. That is the true I, as Rudolf Steiner would say it. This is very calm and meditative. This is having the elements in your favor. This is being certain of self, calm in self, peaceful, unbreakable. Because you have found this new form of inner love, inner destiny, inner authority, inner respect, you are now unchained from manipulations. You are protected. You are the higher being now. Thank you. Anything else, Spirit, on that? Any further advice? Nope, you've obtained it. So this whole spread, Lightworker, is really saying you most likely have gone through a lot of change, a lot of transition, a lot of surrender this year, a lot of healing. Now is your time to emerge. Even though we're coming closer to the winter months, which is so interesting. And that might be why, oh, and I didn't see that. 3 of Pentacles also was confirming that. So this is everything that you built in the background. It's almost done. The weaving of this tapestry, it's almost finished. It's almost ready to be seen by the world, because you most likely have been doing this in silence. Most likely been doing this behind the scenes where no one could see. No one could see all the struggle, all the inner work, everything that you've done in the shadows, in silence, with your guides, your guardians, your angels, your ancestors, your spiritual team, the planetary spheres. Because this was very much the traveling by night, right? That was very much trusting into that fated destiny. This is where Spirit's saying you're emerging, and even if it's in winter, it is your success. It is the time. The time is now. And you're on the brink of that change. You're on the brink of that destiny wheel changing in your favor. After that, you have this creative expression with the Knight of Cups. That is being steadfast on your steed. You have that golden chalice in hand. Off you go, high and strong, into the new place. And that's heart-centered. So this is forging forth from a heart-centered place, from a destiny place. This is heart thinking, heart feeling, and heart willing in all that you do. Your forward movement, your driving force is streaming from the heart. Your mental clarity, your emotions are streaming from the heart. They are for the highest good of yourself and the highest good of the other. This is where you are taking actions. You are truly following your heart and your destiny. You are truly full of new ideas and proposals, and this is where you're creating the new, which is now needed in humanity, because this is about being a change maker. This is about being a bridge builder for future generations, as well as honoring your ancestry, changing the family line, having an element of where you are the change maker. You are now creating this beautiful change, but your time is now. It is now. You are now ready to emerge. Even if you feel like, am I meant to stay in this healing for a little longer? No, you're good enough now. Even if you feel that there's still elements, you're still, healing out and grieving from the past self or what was or what you had to leave behind, all the surrendering you've done, but the bulk of the work has been done. You've already surrendered those things. You've already recognized what needed to be let go of. You've already recognized who you are not. You've recognized where you belong, where you don't. And now you're on a journey into your soul family, into your gifts, being recognized, appreciated, and they're needed. Any clarifiers on that, Spirit? No, very clear. Yeah, and then you're coming into Three of Cups. Divine alignment. This is also third eye orientated, just like the King of Cups. This is celebration, finding your soul tribe, your community, finding your togetherness and your socializing, your happiness. It's all here for you, because this is where you have unity, genuine unity, others that genuinely want your thriving as much as you've wanted the thriving of everyone else around you. You're finally being respected the way that you respect others. You're finally being honored the way you honor others. And you're finally being loved the way you outpour love to all those around you and all elements around you. This is divine blessing, because this is support, this is sharing and collaboration. This has a lot to do with pleasures or weddings or engagements or parties. But this is a graduation. This is where it's Spirit saying happy times and emotional fulfillment are now in your favor. This is where you have emotional fulfillment. Any clarity on that? Anything else, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Because you've done the work. Nine of Swords. You've let go. You've let go of what was. You've already done the grieving. There's no more grieving. Now it's about allowing yourself to receive. Not staying in that place of feeling guilty. That's so many. Yeah, so many things coming out. But you know what? We'll take it. We'll find out what it is. Oh, wow. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Now you're on the new journey. You're trusting the path. In the moonlight. At once more in the dark. This is very, very intuitive. This is very brave. This is deep soul work. This is integrated. Incredible work. Oh my gosh, because Three of Swords, new lands, new horizons with this courage, this fire, this true destiny alignment, this true soul purpose coming into fruition, a brand new life cycle, truly a rebirth in all ways. Queen of Wands, exactly. You are that, celebrating, with the fire, with your wand. You are divine. You are stepping into true alignment of self. The tower, exactly, but a good tower. This is where you've crumbled, you've allowed things to fall away that were not serving you. This is a brilliant tower. With the squirrel, you've got your nuts, all this butterflies, these monarch butterflies, this massive transformation, this lightning, this wheel of change, this sparks of change, coming back home to nature, coming back home to the harmony of the earth, the harmony of their soul, the higher view, and the truth of whom we really are as human beings. Exactly. Letting go of what was. Wow. An Ace of Swords. Exactly. So that's divine. That's Fibonacci sequence. That is very divine. That is within the harmonics of all that is. That is higher view, higher sight out of the mind, harmony with the earth. The Fibonacci sequence has a lot to do with sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is the ancient wisdoms of all that is in the movement of form and energy and synchronicities and trust and destiny. We are energy beings. We are feeling beings. We are vibrational beings. You understand the higher view now. You have the codes of the higher elements. You have been upgraded. Incredible. The ones that fell out in the beginning that we were going to look at that you didn't see. Once more, the tower. Exactly. Letting go of what was. It's all crumbling. It's done, you know, and for the better. This is a good tower. Judgment. Judgment is also very connected to Archangel Michael. Right? This is crown chakra related in the angelic realm. Judgment. This is where the spiritual realm is now highly protecting you. The wheel is turning in your favor. There has been spiritual judgment, not only physical judgment in what you're going through in your physical life, but spiritual judgment. You have stepped up to the task. You have overcome the obstacles that were needed. You have learnt with the higher view streaming from the heart, and now all is coming in to your, honestly, your harmony. The final reckoning. As you sow, you shall reap. And you have sown the seeds. You have worked hard. And even when no one, no thing saw it, no one, no thing respected it, the spiritual realm saw that. They saw your heart. They saw your kindness, all the good deeds, all the forging forth through the hardest of times, in the darkest of days, remaining kind and steadfast and true and beautiful, even when it was a soft hello to a stranger, or opening the door for someone, or just being pure of heart and kind. You remained in that view. You remained in that higher vibration. So this is honestly a mandatory choice that will change life for the better. Trust yourself because you have everything in your favor. Spiritual wealth, independent wealth. Wow. So what you're also not seeing is that your solar or your sacral chakra has been healed. Your sacral chakra is the freedom to express, to feel free to express, to be imaginative, playful, childlike, wonderlike, imagine, dream big. This is about chasing your dreams and knowing that now you don't even need to chase them. Your dreams are now pouring in. They are becoming reality. Your manifestations, your highest timeline is now pouring in. Travel, trust. Nine of Pentacles is where you are independent, right? The Nine of Pentacles is this calm, beautiful, stable, secure prophet. This is where prosperity and financial success pours in with overwhelming amounts of wealth in all ways. That can be your health, your relationships, your monetary funds, physical wealth. That is your rewards for true alignment of your talents, your gifts, your soul's calling. This is true rewards through all the hard work. And this is collecting your investments. This is having a thriving business that you have created on your own. This is having status and pure freedom, because nothing and no one can take it from you, because it's destined for you and you've created it on your own. It streams from your higher self. It streams from the spiritual realm for the highest good of humanity. And therefore, it's this maturity and wisdom and freedom that has now been obtained. It can never be taken from you. And it's going to succeed and be sustained for generations. This is generational wealth. This is outpouring for humanity, and it will trickle in for the new wave of the consciousness in the evolution we are in. And what you're also not seeing is hermit. You've done that inner work. You've done that third eye opening. This is where you honor your spiritual self. The hermit is about this spiritual enlightenment. This is about self-reflection. This is about introspection and inner guidance, trusting that inner guidance. It's about having a sanctuary in yourself. You don't need anyone to feel whole or happy. Of course, you can invite that in and discern what that means for you. But you don't need anyone or anything to feel valuable or fill a void. That is what has been changed. That's where you know the process of searching for, of obtaining the deeper truths. And now you're going to be a guide and a force for others to do the same, to show them how to obtain that same wisdom. Because patience is a virtue, and you have been patient. You have remained steadfast on that true north. You have been patient in the darkest of days. You never lost sight. Even when no one believed in you, even if others possibly thought or didn't understand, you never veered. You never veered from what you knew. You never veered, regardless of the opinions of others. And that is where your reward is truly pouring in. Incredible. Any final advice for the highest and best good for the starseeds? Thank you, Spirit. For the collective, thank you. This one wanted to come out? Yeah. So yeah, Pentacles, you're reaping it. Well, let's see. Anything at all? Spirit. No, this is clear. I mean, you've done the work. You're meant to emerge now. So, final self-care advice to close out the reading. What else does the collective need to know in any further healing that they may need? Let's see. Dreams. Think big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams. Opportunity. Release your ties to the past. When you let go of the old, you make room for the new. Rest. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. Intent. Focus your energy. There is amazing power in a strong intention. Wow. Starseed Lightworker, if this resonates with you, please comment a heart below and claim this, because this is phenomenal and you are about to step into what most never step into in a lifetime, and that is truly honoring your soul and honoring your destiny and why you incarnated, why you came at this time. You are here as one of the many lights for the forward movement of humanity, and that is no small feat, and it is to be celebrated. So one last time, your overall self-care advice, journeying into this unknown and re-emerging, because you are ready, and that is clear. Once more, think big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams. Release your ties to the past. When you let go of the old, you make room for the new. Rest and relax. Release guilt and make your needs a top priority. Focus your energy. There is amazing power in a strong intention. What an honor this reading has been. Many blessings to you, and I thank you. Cheers.